Welcome back to Inglés 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. Hello and welcome back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to class number 100. Yes, 100. Here we are in our 100th class. And we are over the halfway point now because we have a total of 195 classes in the course. So we have reached a significant landmark here, a significant point. 100. Wow. So if you've been listening every day, wow, 100 classes. And for me, 100 hours. Well, for you as well, if you listen to all three levels, 100 one-hour classes. At the advanced level, 100 of these 20-minute classes, or about 19 minutes, depending on the ads that we have. But yeah, so 100 classes. Hopefully, you've learned a lot so far, and hopefully, you're paying attention and following along and working out loud en voz alta, practicing with all the structures and the translations. So 100, but we still have a lot more work to do. We can't be sitting around today celebrating everything because we have got to get down to business. That's right. And the first thing we can look at is a review of what we saw in the last class. We were talking about nothing but. Nothing but. Nada más que. Yes, so all he did was work. You could say he did nothing but work. Now, all he did was sit in his garden all day. All he did was sit in his garden all day. So he did nothing but sit in his garden all day. Nothing but plus infinitive without the to. He did nothing but sit in his garden all day. Now, so let's practice more here where I will give you the sentence and give me the equivalent using nothing but, okay? All they did was complain about the service. They did nothing but complain about the service. All they did was play golf all week. They did nothing but play golf all week. Now, all he did on Saturday afternoon was sleep. He did nothing but sleep on Saturday afternoon. You could also say on Saturday afternoon, he did nothing but sleep. Yes. You only saw, this is an example from the student guide. You only saw sheep in New Zealand. And you can say, Kyle, I saw nothing but sheep in New Zealand. All you did was drink wine when you were in La Rioja. What did you do? I did nothing but drink wine. Okay. All right. Very good. All right, so we've seen this structure. We saw it yesterday. Well, in the last class yesterday, and we're looking again quickly at it today. But I'd like to move on because in the translation list we only got through half of it yesterday. So I'd like to revisit that translation list. This is list number 28. So let's do it. Let's do our translation list. Translation. Oh, very interesting here. Translation list number 28. And yeah, it's an interesting one. Okay, number 1. Lo superarás. Ya verás. You'll get over it. You'll see. You'll get over it. You'll see. Ya verás. You'll see. Okay, number 2. Solo me quedan recuerdos. Solo me quedan recuerdos. I only have memories left. Nunca he sido tan feliz. I've never been so happy. Nunca he sentido tanto placer. I've never felt so much pleasure. Nunca he tenido tantos momentos felices. I've never had so many happy moments. I've never had so many happy moments. No, never. I've never had so many happy moments. Number 6. Nunca me lo he pasado tan maravillosamente. I've never had such a wonderful time. Now, wonderful. We could say marvelous, yes, but it's more common to say wonderful. I've never had such a wonderful time. Number 7. Siempre he llevado una vida algo aburrida. I've always led a somewhat boring life. Now, we use the verb to lead a life. To have a life. I've always had I've always had a somewhat boring life, or I've always led. Typically, with a life, we use the verb to lead. What life do you lead? Do you lead an exciting life? Do you lead a mysterious life? Do you lead an interesting life? He led a very interesting life. He led a very interesting life, we can say. So here, I've always led a somewhat boring life. Una vida algo aburrida. Number 8. Pero desde que la conocí, todo eso ha cambiado. But since I met her, all that has changed. So here we're using the verb to meet. Conocer. Por la primera vez. To meet someone. But since I met her. So to meet is a moment in the past. Meet doesn't have a duration. It's a momentary thing. You meet someone. And then in the past you met them. Okay? But since I met her, all that has changed. Right? We use the verb to know in the sense of conocer with a period of time. So I know Alberto. I have known him for 2 years. I met him 2 years ago. I have known him since the moment I met him. Think of that. I have known you since the moment I met you. Right? I've known him. I've known Alberto for 2 years. I have known him for 2 years because I met him 2 years ago. Okay? So here, but since I met her, all that has changed. Number 9, no puedo seguir sin ella. I can't go on. No puedo seguir. I can't go on without her. I can't go on without her. Number 10. Se me ha acabado la inspiración. Acabar. Ooh, yes. The phrasal verb. To run out of. Se me ha acabado la inspiración. I've run out of inspiration. I've run out of inspiration. Yes, I've run out of inspiration. I've run out of inspiration. Number 11. Ya encontrarás a otra persona. Don't worry. Ya encontrarás a otra persona. You'll find someone else. That's what they all say, right? Don't worry. You'll find someone else. And then the person who's just lost their girlfriend says, number 12, they say, Nunca encontraré a nadie como ella. Nunca encontraré a nadie como ella. In English, I'll never find anyone like her. Never. I'll never find anyone like her. All right. Yes. Now, how did you do on that translation list? Did you get them all right? 12 out of 12? It's tricky. Yeah, there were a few tricky ones in there. All right. Well, anyhow, let's move on and talk about our expression of the day. Expression of the day. Ah, yes, the expression of the day. The expression of the day today is watering hole. Watering hole, which is a bar. Ah, yes, we'll go down to the old watering hole, like a bar or a pub. Pub. Now, be careful with the pronunciation. We say pub, not puff. I've heard so many people say puff, but no, it's a B, pub. A pub. So this is a watering hole. So imagine like camels are going through the desert and they find a place, a hole, like an oasis, where there is moisture, and it's a hole in the ground or a lower depression that they often go down. They make their way down there to drink the water, a watering hole. But we've taken this idea and brought it to, well, a place where we go to drink, a bar, a watering hole, which is an expression for a bar. He's down at the watering hole. Okay, means he's at the bar. All right. All right, now here in class number 100, part 2 of class number 100, we're talking about abstract nouns. Abstract nouns. So what the heck? Kyle, what the heck is that? What is an abstract noun? So basically we're talking about nouns that are not tangible. We're talking about a noun that represents a concept or an idea. Things that we can't see or touch. And the interesting thing grammatically about these is in English they do not have an article. So if you say, for example, love, we just say, do you believe in true love? We don't say, do you believe in the true love? No. Do you believe in true love? Or justice. Do you believe in justice? Yes, I believe in justice, not the justice. Right? There's no article. Okay? Do you believe in fear? Do you believe in fear? Yes, I believe in fear. Is fear something that controls your behavior? Does fear control your behavior? Maybe it does. Do you fear things? Are you afraid? El miedo, fear. What about la esperanza? Hope. Hope. Will hope help you succeed? Will you believe in the possibility of better things in the future? Will you have hope? Will hope help you succeed? Now, notice I'm not saying the hope, but just hope. Does peace seem possible? Does peace seem possible in the modern world? I think I don't know. Do you think peace is possible? Does peace seem possible? Do you fear death? Oof. Do you fear death? Means, are you afraid of death? Do you fear death? Personally, I don't fear death. No, I think everyone will die eventually, but you have to live your life without fear. I think a lot of people live their lives in fear. Do you live your life in fear? Do you fear death? Do you fear other things? Okay. Well, here we have the verb to fear. Do you fear other things? Do you fear war? Now here we don't say the war. Are you worried about war? I think we have to be concerned about war. There are wars going on around the world. Do you fear war? So notice I'm not saying the war. El éxito, success. How do you measure success? How do you measure success? That's a good question. How do you measure success? So I'm not saying the success. No. How do you measure success? Satisfaction, happiness, contentness in what you do, having a job that you enjoy, having a family that you're happy with. Very difficult question. How do you measure success? I suppose happiness is probably maybe the most common benchmark for success. If you're truly happy with yourself, then by definition, are you not successful? What is success? I don't know. It's sort of a difficult question. It's like saying, what is the meaning of life? Again, not the life, but life. What is the meaning of life? I can't answer that question. This is a question that I just can't answer. A few questions I can't answer here because when we get into these abstract ideas, well, I'm not a philosopher. Maybe we should get a philosopher on the program and see if we can answer some of these questions. Anyhow, let's move on and talk about our vocabulary of the day. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. Our 5 words of vocabulary. The first word, recuperación. This is recovery. Recovery. Relación. Relationship. Notice I'm not saying no, relationship. Preceder. The verb to precede. To precede. Tranquilizar. No te preocupes, no te preocupes. To reassure. To reassure. Sierra. Now, I'm not talking about the mountains, but the tool. A saw. S-A-W. Saw. Just like yesterday I saw. See, saw, seen. But sierra, for cutting wood, for example, is a saw. S-A-W. Saw. Not saw, but saw. Saw. Okay? Now, I would like to revisit very quickly abstract nouns, and I said we don't use the article, but we can use the article when we're talking about specific cases. So we're making it specific. So I said, do you worry about war, for example? Do you worry about war? Now, I didn't say the war because we're speaking general. We say, do you worry about war? But now, if I could say, is the Iraq war over? Is the Iraq war still continuing? Here I'm using the article because I'm talking about a specific war. But if I say, do you fear war? Are you afraid of war? Do you hate war? Okay? We have these ideas that we're making specific by talking about, say, a specific war. Or is the love of a mother different than the love of a partner or a spouse, for example? So we're making it specific in some way. So in this case, we are using the article. Anyhow, we're completely out of time. I would love to continue, but I am totally out of time. They're telling me I have to stop, and I do. But we'll come back. We'll review this concept tomorrow and so much more. I hope you'll join me. See you then. Bye-bye.